Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. All praises and thanks are due to Allah, the Lord of all that exists. May the peace and blessing of Allah be upon Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the messengers of Allah and his family and companions, and who follows them in righteousness until the day of judgment. Okay, my friends, I'm Anissa Nurul Huda and I'm from Management Class B. And in this video, I will convey material about understanding the concept of national income, source, calculation, and distribution. And let's check it out. Understanding macroeconomics, concept, scope, and examples. 1. Definition of macroeconomics. Macroeconomic is a branch of economics that studies how the economy as a whole function, including factors that affect economic growth, inflation, unemployment, monetary and fiscal policy, and the interaction between sectors in a country's economy. Macroeconomics differs from microeconomics, which focus more on the behavior of individuals and business in making economic decisions. Macroeconomics looks at the economy from a broader perspective to understand how global policies and events can affect a country's economies as well. Macroeconomics is very important in economy planning because it can help governments, central banks, and international organizations design economic policy to achieve stable growth, reduce inflation, reduce unemployment, and improve public welfare. 2. Scope of macroeconomics. Macroeconomics covers several key aspects that serve as indicators of a country's economic health. Here are some important aspects of macroeconomics. A. National income. National income measures the total value of goods and service produced by a country in certain period. Indicators that are often used in measuring national income include gross domestic product or GDP. GDP is the total value of all goods and service products within a country's borders in a given period of time, usually 1 year. Example, if Indonesia GDP in 2023 is Indonesian rupiah 20 triliun, then it reflects the total production of goods and service product in Indonesia in that year. Gross National Product (GNP). GNP includes the total production of goods and service product by citizens of a country, including income from abroad, but excluding production carried out by foreign companies within the country. Per capita income. Per capita income is a country's GDP divided by its population. Example, if Indonesia GDP is rupiah 20 triliun and its population is 270 miliar, then per capita income rupiah 20 triliun or 270 million sama dengan rupiah 74 million per year per person. B. Economic growth. Economic growth reflects that increase in a country's production capacity over time. Typically, economic growth is measured by the percentage increase in GDP from year to year. C. Inflation. Inflation is the general increase in the price of goods and services in an economy. Inflation that is too high can reduce people's purchasing power, while inflation that is too low or deflation can be a sign of economic slowdown. Types of inflation. Mid-inflation, price increase below 10% per year. Moderator inflation, price increase between 10% until 10% until 30% per year. High inflation, price increase between 30% until 100%. Hyperinflation, price increase of more than 100% per year. D. Unemployment. The unemployment rate measures the percentage of the labor force that is unemployed but actively seeking work. Types of unemployment. Structural unemployment occurs due to change in the structure of the economy that cause a mismatch between the skills of workers and the needs of the industry. Cyclical unemployment caused by fluctuation in the business cycle such as recessions. Frictional unemployment occurs when a person moves from one job to another. Fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is the government's policy of managing the state budget through government spending and tax to influence the economy. Example of expansionary fiscal policy: the government lowered taxes and increased infrastructure spending to boost economic growth. Example of contractionary fiscal policy: the government raises taxes and reduces spending to control inflation. Okay, next. P. Monetary policy. Monetary policy is conducted by the central bank to control the amount of money in circulation and interest rates to maintain economic stability. Example of expansionary monetary policy: Bank Indonesia lowers interest rates to make loans cheaper and encourage investment. Example of contractionary monetary policy: Bank Indonesia raises interest rates to reduce the amount of money in circulation and curb inflation. G. Balance of trade and balance of payments. The trade balance shows the difference between a country's export and imports. If exports are greater than imports, then the country has a trade surplus. Conversely, if imports are greater than exports, there is a trade deficit. So in the last we have, of course, conclusion. Conclusion: macroeconomic is a very important science in understanding how a country's economy functions. By understanding macroeconomics aspects such as national income, economic growth, inflation, unemployment, fiscal and monetary policy, and the trade balance, governments and economic actors can design the right strategies to achieve stability and sustainable economic growth. With a good understanding of macroeconomics, we can be wiser in making economics designs, both as individuals, entrepreneurs, and policymakers. Okay guys, and I think is enough. Thanks for your nice attention. For less or more, I'm apologies to Allah. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.